3 News cameraman Jeff Mackley is in the southern US state of Louisiana tonight. A short time ago, he spoke to reporter Marianne Twentyman from the area where the storm is expected to make landfall.
The entire hurricane is in the Gulf of Mexico, which is not a good thing because the Gulf of Mexico is a prime place for that hurricane to grow much bigger, and it is doing that now.
How bad are you expecting the devastation to be if it hits New Orleans? I understand it could be upgraded.
Well, it's 110 miles an hour now, which is on the very border between a Category 2 and a Category 3 hurricane. Now, there are thoughts that it could go up to a Category 4 by the time it hits New Orleans, if that's where it hits. If it hits at that strength, it'll be devastating. The damage will be tremendous.
Where are you in relation to the storm now, and I guess, are you safe?
Well, at the moment I'm heading towards New Orleans. When the storm hits, there's probably not going to be a lot of places that are safe. It's going to be very, very dangerous.
This is 3 News with John Campbell and Carol Hirschfeld.
Good evening. Hurricane George is coming and more than 1 million people have fled. The southern parts of the United States emptied as the winds arrived. In a moment, we'll cross to a 3 News cameraman who's right at the spot where George is due to strike. But the rush to escape a storm that's already killed hundreds of people and winds already reaching 120 kilometres an hour.
Residents who haven't left their communities along the Gulf of Mexico have been warned they're in danger. The authorities have issued a hurricane warning, a tornado watch, a flash flood warning and a high river warning. The sea level was predicted to reach 5 metres above normal, causing extensive floods and erosion. The winds, predicted to reach 175 kilometres an hour, are expected to be destructive.
Back up when I call your name. Step forward and get on the bus, please.
In New Orleans, a mass evacuation's taken place. The wind isn't the main worry, it's the water. The city's below sea level and the rising ocean could produce extensive deep floods. More than 1 million people left, choking motorways north, then leaving them eerily empty. The streets deserted and under curfew. For those who stayed, the Superdome became a shelter. Refugees in their own city, they anxiously listened for news of George.
The city could see hurricane storm winds by later on tonight.
Around the city is an elaborate system of dikes, walls and gates to hold back storm surges. Backing them up are pumping stations to remove floodwater. This system will be tested by a long siege. George is advancing more slowly and it will linger.
Hurricane force winds could be as much as 30 hours. We're looking at rainfall maybe in excess of 25 to 30 inches.
That's up to 75 centimetres. The latest predictions say the town of Gulfport, Mississippi, is in line with the centre of the storm. There, only the courageous, the police, military and reporters are on the streets. Max Hayton, 3 News.
And TV3 News cameraman Jeff Mackley is right in the centre of the storm area, close to New Orleans in a place called Gulfport. A short time ago, I asked him how bad it was.
Well, Carol, the winds here at the moment are gusting up to 120 kilometres an hour. I've just been down to the beach at Gulfport here. The sea is breaking over the road. All the roads are deserted and the military and police are the only ones on the streets. So things are getting pretty bad here.
Jeff, I know that earlier you drove out of New Orleans where many people have been evacuated. What was that like?
If you can imagine driving the whole length of Auckland's northern motorway and not seeing a single vehicle or a single person anywhere, that's what it was like this morning in New Orleans. The freeways were just totally deserted. There were no people anywhere, and I understand over 1 million people have been evacuated. It was a very eerie thing to see.
What's the outlook for the next 24 hours?
Well, the outlook here is not good. We're basically at ground zero, if you want to put it like that. The hurricane is expected to come ashore. The eye is expected to come ashore virtually right where we are here. The storm is going a lot slower now. The sustained hurricane force winds here will be 170 kilometres an hour and are expected to stay like that for something like 30 hours. When the winds get up to that speed, there'll be no chance of being outside. There'll be debris in the air, so things are going to get pretty dangerous.
Jeff Mackley, thank you very much. We'll be keeping in touch.